These are Uyghur workers, featured on Chinese state media, celebrating the Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha. They are not in Xinjiang, their home, but thousands of miles away, in Shandong, East China. Rights groups allege that sending Uyghurs to factories around the country is indicative of forced labor, that they are subject to strict controls as part of a policy of assimilation. China rejects those claims. But Sky News has uncovered evidence of the tight social and political controls applied to Uyghur workers. On the Chinese internet, there are hundreds of postings offering Uyghur labor, in batches of 50 to 100 people. This one says that the security of workers will be guaranteed by the government. The company hosting the adverts did not respond to a request for comment. We phoned some of the numbers listed. Ultimately, the government decides where workers go, another agent told us. When they get that government approval, the workers end up in factories like the one in the video. We went to Shandong to find out more. When we arrived at the seafood processing factory, it was a very different scene. There are no Uyghurs here, the factory owner told us. They have all returned home because of the pandemic. He described the idea of forced labor as nonsense, saying workers came here because they chose to, earned at least £300 per month, and had air conditioners in their on-site dormitories. But they were under close supervision. The CCTV cameras in the office monitor those dormitories. Riot control gear is also at hand. And if workers wished to leave the factory to go shopping, the owner told us, the company would drive them in 2 buses. In the meantime, he had called the police. 12 officers and Communist Party officials questioned us for 2 hours before ordering us to leave town. Our questions were not welcome at another seafood factory in the same province. For years, it has run a UK subsidiary, registered in London. This manager was waiting at the door. He told us bluntly there were no Uyghur workers here, nor had there been in the several years he had been employed at the factory. That's contradicted by photos posted in March last year on the company's website, which have since been deleted. It shows Uyghur workers arriving from Xinjiang. The accompanying announcement says that their arrival will help poverty alleviation and the integration of the national family. This is a coastal export city some 2,000 miles away from landlocked Xinjiang. It comes with a very different way of life. Uyghur workers are being sent all across China to different cities. At the very least, it is a vast labor transfer program, and it's one that requires a whole industry around it. The Chinese government has been mounting an aggressive publicity campaign in reaction to the allegations of forced labor. We were invited to this press conference in Beijing earlier this year. Questions had to be pre-submitted in order to attend. We were told this Uyghur man had taken part in the labor transfer program.
If this labor isn't coerced, if it isn't forced, why do they need government supervision?
最近境外有些人说我们去内地务工被强迫的，还受到了监视，这简直是胡说八道。我们祖国任何地方务工，去任何地方都是自己的自由。
Sky News asked the Chinese government for a response to our story, but after a week had received no reply. Even here in East China, so far away from Xinjiang, answers are hard to find.